pretty impressive story for you now. After getting lost for 17 days in Australia, Jack Russell Milo was finally reunited with his owner all the way back in the UK.
Jason Whatnall organised for a pet handler to take Milo to the United Kingdom, but received the dreaded phone call that he had escaped from the cage at the airport.
Despite what felt like a month-long nightmare, a dedicated search party and a different pet handler company joined forces and returned Milo to the UK safe and sound.
Well, joining us now is Jason Whatnall and Milo himself. So, Jason, tell us, first of all, what's it like to be finally reunited with Milo?
It's absolutely amazing. After a 17-day long ordeal, stressful nights, not eating or sleeping very well, we're just thrilled to have him back. We can't believe it, actually.
Jason, tell us how this unfolded, how it all started. You were moving back from Australia to the United Kingdom, wanted to bring Milo with you, and then what?
Yeah, so Nick and I took Milo for his final vet check and dropped him off to the dog handler. We passed him over and said our goodbyes. About 45 minutes later, we were heading home. We got a call saying he'd been lost by the handler. He'd actually escaped from his crate when they were kind of transiting. So, yeah, we came back to Melbourne, searched all day with no luck. And then, yeah.
Now, at the same time, though, you were dealing with a pressing time, weren't you? Because a visa was running out.
Yeah, so we didn't really have a chance to stay because of visa time limits. And so Nick and I really had to fly out the next day, which was quite stressful, knowing that we didn't have little Milo with us. So then we had to rely on volunteers and community members to kind of help out.
And then you're on that long flight from Australia back to the United Kingdom. I'm sure the moment that you landed, you turned your phones on, desperate for news, and still nothing.
Yeah, thankfully Mum was my contact, so she was liaising with the company and everyone was, you know, doing their best, but obviously got to London, there was still no good news, they were still looking. So, yeah, I just kind of started rallying up people in the community, getting volunteers on board. We eventually enlisted the help of Nigel Williamson. He's a pet animal rescue guy. And, yeah, so the search continued for the next fortnight.
And so then, by this time, you were getting pretty desperate. You put a post on Facebook, on community groups. You contacted the Australian media as well. So you really kind of got together a group of people saying, we are desperate. You've got to help us find Milo.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, I was quite helpless in the UK, not being able to search myself. So I just did everything I could on social media. I put it in all the lost dog groups. And I just had hundreds of people reach out, you know, offering to help, offering to search down in the area where he went missing. Yeah, so it was just an amazing outreach. Thankfully, we had the community because we wouldn't have found him without them.
And in that fortnight, as the search is underway, how is it being done? You were putting out food, there were cameras. Just talk us through what was going on to try and find Milo.
So, yeah, we had people putting basically lost dog posters up all around the industrial estate where he went missing. We had people going business to business, asking for CCTV footage and just asking businesses to look out. Nigel Williamson, with his expertise, he brought a whole heap of resources. So he laid food stations out with trail cameras to monitor the food stations so we could see if Milo was in the area. We were getting foxes and cats and things like that on the cameras. Eventually, one of those food stations did capture Milo on camera. So that was a huge sigh of relief to see him and know he was still alive, which meant then Nigel could lay his trap, this huge trap that had a fandangle kind of gate that if Milo went in, he'd take the bait and the kind of gate would close behind him. So, yeah, eventually that's what worked. And we were able to lay the trap in an area near where he was monitored on the camera. And, yeah, we had some luck from there.
So how far away from the airport was he when finally you saw the cameras, you got the trap, you knew where he was? How far away was he from the original positioning?
So 5 kilometers away. So still in the area, but he'd still made quite a bit of distance. There was like a creek and bushland that kind of followed through the area, and it looked like he might have tracked that. People were telling me dog in survival mode would definitely try and find water. So we were kind of keeping an eye along that creek. But yeah, it was still quite a bit of a distance away. So we were lucky that we had some sightings, which led us to that area before we could start monitoring cameras and that type of thing.
And Jason, just tell us about the reunion, what that was like and how Milo is after his ordeal.
So I was lucky to have a guy, Lenny Thomas from Petraveller, reach out and offer to basically take over Milo's travel after he was found, which was a huge relief. It meant I didn't have to worry about anything moving forward. So Lenny actually flew Milo over business class on British Airways. They gave him the A-class treatment, and he came over with a team of people, and they basically filmed our reunion and made a bit of a day of it. So we got to hang out with Milo, give him his roast chicken and schmacko treats. It's amazing. I burst into tears, as you can see. When he come through the door, it was just after the month we've had, you know, all this emotion built up. It was all came out of me at once, and I had my little boy back in my arms, and he wouldn't stop squealing with delight either. He was so excited. He was just so hyped up. It was hilarious.
Oh, Jason, it's wonderful to have a happy ending, and I think Milo deserved that first-class treatment.
First class and chicken dinner. Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, he does. He loves him so much.
Jason and Milo, thank you so much. Wonderful to see you reunited.